Hey guys, happy Sunday fun day. It's Joe, and it's time for a pocket with Joe. We got 6 games on the ice today. We did see some nice games yesterday. We had a full slate of games. I hope you guys rode with the Arizona Coyotes on that puck line with me as I went to shootout with the LA Kings. We've got 6 games on the ice. Plenty of opportunities to make some money. We're going to kick it off nice and quick here with the Nashville Predators taking on the Minnesota Wild. Now, this one kicks off at the top of the hour. The Wild are rolling in as the favorite at minus 182, with the Predators at plus 150, with Saros expected in goal. Now, Saros has a 2.79 goals against average, and we're seeing Gustafsson expected here for the Minnesota Wild. He's got a 2.12. That Edmonton line is moving, James, and we'll definitely get to that in just a couple minutes here. First period's over. I completely agree with you. Are going to be money today. One thing you have to look at with these first periods over, you guys, is the juice the books are making us pay at the moment. If you like the first period over because you think both teams can score in that first period, both teams are going to come out with a strong effort, look for both teams to score on your book. You're actually most of the time, I want to say 90%. I'm going to go with 80% of the time. You're getting around plus 120 on the both teams to score. And some of these over 1.5 in that first period, I tell you, you are way juiced in that. So definitely look at that. Oh, and thank you for being here. James liking the Senators on the puck line. Benji, you guys, you bought my beers last night. I bought you beers last night. I'm so happy to hear that. I love to hear people making some freaking money. Ingram, I don't know if he can repeat. We're going to see what we get out of Ingram in this one. Got to remember the Kings are in a terrible scheduling spot there. Now we've got Ingram and the Coyotes on that back-to-back. Let's have a good night. I love seeing the Knights still get the win. No goal in the first 10 minutes. You know what? This is something I have not bet enough of. No goal in that first 10 minutes. When you think it's going to be a lower scoring one, and when you've got top defenses like the Minnesota Wild, I do like this play. I think that is great. Let everyone know what value you're getting on your book because I don't have that one in front of me. So looking at the Nashville Predators, Minnesota Wild, let's get back on track, you guys. Wild coming in as a favorite here. Now they're sitting 4th in the Central. We have the Predators sitting 5th. The Preds won their last game last night. They're on the back-to-back here. They won 7-3 over the Panthers. That was when, you guys know, I was riding the Panthers. I thought Florida would come out a lot stronger. The Predators just dominated that game. Now, this is a one-off road trip. I don't like the scheduling spot for the Predators. They're just doing this one road game here going into Minnesota. Now, Minnesota won that last game versus the Dallas Stars. That was a hard-fought battle in that one. Looking at this game with the total 6, it's hard not to take the under in this game. Both of these offenses really haven't been lighting up the back of the nets, with the Predators only averaging 2.77. and the Wild averaging that 2.85 goals. Now, defensively, the defenses have been strong as well, holding opponents to under 3 goals per game, with the Wild coming in at that 2.82 and the Nashville Predators at 2.98. Now, when we look at these teams, we do see a stronger kill out of the Minnesota Wild, and I do lean on the Minnesota Wild here at home in this one. I don't think on the back-to-back, the Predators will be able to get the upset. Now, on tired legs, they're 2-5 in their last 7 and a 3-4 situation. They have been incredibly strong, though, versus the Minnesota Wild. So I caution you with this game today. I really do. I love the under in this one. I think we have a defensive goaltending battle in this one. The Preds have rolled into Minnesota and got things done. For myself, what I'm looking at here is if I want to take the Minnesota Wild, it has to be worth it. And it has to be freaking worth it to take them here, because this is a hard situation. This is a team that they don't play well against with the Predators. But with the Predators on the back-to-back, I think this is an opportunity for the Wild to actually win this one big. I think this is a 3-1 style game. But I do think we sweat out the Wild covering that puck line. Covering the puck line minus 1.5, we're getting a plus 130. I think it's worth a sprinkle here. I'd rather do that than take the Wild in regulation. Because if you like the Wild, taking them in regulation, yeah, you're going to make money on the bet. If they win it, but this could be one of those games where I'm sorry, I just seen the comments come in. One of those games where you could get that puck line cover. So they're not notoriously strong on the puck line at all, only going 9-20 at home, on home ice, on that puck line. But they have covered that puck line in their last 6 games after coming off an overtime game. Now, we saw them play overtime versus the Stars. So this is a team, when they come off of overtime, they do come out incredibly strong in the next one. So you guys keep your fingers crossed for me. I got the Wild on the puck line laying 1.5 at plus 130. I love that plus money. I just can't get behind them in regulation. It's not enough value for me. So I'm looking for the value bet with this one. And I think the Wild are due for a nice big win here. You'd rather take the Preds on the puck line plus 1.5. And I understand that this team has been strong on the puck line. If you grab the Preds plus 1.5 on that puck line, the juice, and that's where I can't get the juice tolerance, just isn't there for me. If you parlay that with something, and definitely when we talk about the parlay at the end here, the Predators plus 1.5 is definitely a parlay one, but I do think just Wild straight up on that puck line is worth a sprinkle in this one. Let's look at the next game on the ice, the St. Louis Blues and the Ottawa Senators. This is 2:00 Eastern as well. We've got a total 6.5 here. Now, St. Louis coming in as a dog on the road. I'm just updating. We're seeing lines move so incredibly quick. They're plus 152 here, minus 184 in this one for the Ottawa Senators. And we have this total sitting solid at 6.5. Now, this is one that I do think you look at that first period, look for the goals to come in the first period. The over 1.5 in the first period, like I said, it's juiced at minus 170. I don't know if this is one where I trust both teams to get these goals. We know how fast the Ottawa Senators have been coming out. They've been really getting these goals. And we saw the St. Louis Blues held to only that one goal versus the Colorado Avalanche in their last game. Now, the St. Louis Blues are getting out here on the road for this game. If you guys watched this game last night, let me know who took their face off the ice for the St. Louis Blues. I keep meaning to look this up. I was live on Sports Grid. It was not pretty. It was one of the most awful falls that I saw. One of the St. Louis Blues guys took his complete face off the ice and went off just looking a mess. So let me know who that was, because I doubt they're in the lineup today. Now, the Blues, 6-1 in their last 7 games on no rest. So this is a team we don't have to stress about being on that back-to-back. On that puck line plus 1.5, like I said, too juicy at minus 170. I do think this is a tight game. I know I've seen you guys throwing out already the Sens on the puck line at minus 1.5. You're going to get great value if you believe in the Senators in this one. They are really strong on that puck line in their last 6 against opponents who are on that second leg of a back-to-back. The Sens really have worked those tired legs of the other teams. So this is going to be an interesting one. The Blues have not been a strong road team, only going 1-4 in their last 5 road games, but versus the Ottawa Senators, they have owned this matchup. They've gone 7-2 in their last 9 meetings overall versus the Ottawa Senators, and 6-1 in their last 7. So for myself, the Blues on the puck line at plus 1.5 is somewhere you can put in a parlay. It's too juicy at minus 170. I'd look at that first period, over 1.5 goals in that. Again, it's juiced. So you got to parlay that with something else. I think this is a nice opportunity to sprinkle here on the St. Louis Blues. They have owned this matchup, and we know in hockey, these trends really like to stay true. So that's something to look at. The Sens team total of 4. Benji, it's getting a little high, and this is where I'm struggling with the Senators. In that last game, I took their team total over 3.5. They lost to the Blackhawks 4-3. They seem to be hitting a wall with some of these goals. They do have a phenomenal power play here, 3rd best overall in the league. Can we see the St. Louis Blues take enough penalties? Now, this is one of those teams that we see them in some games. They just want to scrap. They want to fight. And in other games, they play a really disciplined one. So I would stay off the team total. I would lean to the over if you're going to bet it, because we know the Sens can put up these goals. These teams trend to that under when they play each other. But with the amount of goals the St. Louis Blues are giving up as of late, I can't back and under in this game, I'd be looking at that over to come in. So with that being said, the Sens team total going over probably is the play today. I could see these two teams coming out of that first period with 3 goals in that first period. So I do think there is value in that. Happy as Sunday to you too, Neil, riding with the Sens and the over. Half a unit on each. Sean, what are you putting a half a unit on? The Wild plus 1.5, the under 6 for minus 105, and Nashville plus 2.5 and the under 6.5. Best of luck with that, Sean. Think the over 6.5 should be similar to the Blackhawks game. Yeah, I completely agree with you. And yes, no Ryan O'Reilly, no Tarasenko. That is for sure. What a crazy thing. We're going to talk about Ryan O'Reilly in a moment. With the Toronto Maple Leafs, I really do think he has the opportunity for a goal tonight. First, let's talk about the Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche. Now, this one kicking off at 3 Eastern. Got time to get your bet in on this. Now, we have a total of 6.5. Automatically looking at this, so hard to not bet this total over with what we've seen out of both of these offenses, especially the Edmonton Oilers. Really looking to get those goals fast. I think this is over in the first period, that over 1.5. And I think you could take both teams to score here. Because if you take the over 1.5 in the first period, it's minus 172. Both teams to score. And this is what I mean. Both teams to score in the first period is plus 134. There is your value in taking goals in that first period in this game. Because I do think Edmonton, we saw them put 3 or 4 goals up in that first period. It was 4 goals versus the Rangers in that first period in their last game. We see Edmonton come out quick, but we also see the Colorado Avalanche be able to get these goals as well. This team is playing phenomenally strong. Now, yes, they are on their back-to-back, but this team plays solid on a back-to-back. They have won their last 8 over the Edmonton Oilers as well. So I'm looking for a really strong performance out of Colorado in this one. This is a pick'em, and you're giving me a pick'em with Colorado at home. I'm going to take Colorado with Georgia expected in goal here. Skinner coming in for Edmonton, and we know Edmonton is allowing these games to get away from them. Live betting this game will be a lot of fun if Edmonton does get up in this game. If we roll out of that first period 3-1, which I wouldn't be shocked by, I would take Colorado plus the points and on that money line for a nice little sprinkle. Because what we're seeing, Edmonton, they come out strong. They're not playing a full 60 minutes. So something to note when you're watching the Edmonton Oilers. Also something to note, if you've looked at these teams, their ability to come back. This is something I was talking about with Dave Sharapan the other week on Sports Grid. These teams that get down, they are coming back. And it was an astounding 45.2% of the time we're seeing teams come back and get the win when down coming out of the first period. So it's been absolutely crazy what we've seen on the ice, and we can expect it day in and day out with these teams. These teams are battling it out. Now, something else to pay attention to as well when you're live betting these games or going into these games, expect more of these games to go to OT to get that draw in 60. These teams, if there's a couple minutes left, instead of making the mistake and letting the other team win and get the point, they're going to push it to OT. A lot of these teams, they both get the point pushing to overtime. We'll see the winning team, of course, get more. But going into overtime gives each team a point automatically there. So look for that. Look for more of these games to be pushed to OT, especially when we have phenomenal defenses like the Minnesota Wild. I can see a lot of their games being pushed that way. I see your comments coming in. I can't keep up. Kev coming in here with the Avs on the money line. I like it. Yeah, Connor McDavid didn't get a goal in the last game. He was minus 110 for that anytime goal versus the New York Rangers. He did get, I believe, 2 assists. I could be wrong on that. It could have only been 1, but Connor McDavid is definitely due, and we use that word sparingly in this league, but he should come out nice and strong. I like the Avs plus 1.5 and the over 5.5 parlay. That looks like some nice money. Neil, this should be a good one here in this game. Okay, I'm all over BTTS on Edmonton versus the Avs. I like it, Joe. Plus 135 there. First period. Okay. I love where you guys are going with that game. It should be a good one. And like I said, it's really hard not to take this one over. I do think that first period over, both teams to score over in the first period is where the value is with both teams to score. The Avs are, though. This team is strong defensively, 8-3-1 in their last 12 overall to that under. So just a little side note there, but we know Edmonton loves to push this game offensively because they cannot win. Well, they can, but they struggle to win a low-scoring game. The next game on the board, you guys, we're going to talk about the Toronto Maple Leafs taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. Now, 6 o'clock Eastern for this one. We have, let's just look at updated lines here. For the Toronto Maple Leafs, they're coming in at minus 320 plus a 255 for the Chicago Blackhawks, total 6.5. Now, I tell you, I want to take Chicago straight up on this money line, but I am sick and tired of losing money with Chicago, especially when I think that they should cover the puck lines, playing these teams that they normally cover against. Now, this is one of those situations. We saw these teams just play, I believe, Wednesday, and Toronto got the 5-2 win. Chicago kept that game tight until they didn't. That's what we saw with Toronto's last game versus Montreal. Montreal kept it tight until they didn't. And then we're seeing Toronto just explode offensively and get these goals. Now they're sitting second in the Atlantic. We see Chicago sitting eighth in the Central. Both of these teams actually averaging over 3 goals per game, which is hard to believe for the Chicago Blackhawks here. Their defense really, really letting them down. And I think that will be their undoing in this game. Their defense allowing 3.63 goals per game. It's hard to even fathom so many goals allowed to come in. They're allowing these shots too at 33.6. And when we look at the Toronto Maple Leafs, really strong defense here, 4th overall in allowed goals at 2.63 and 29 shots on goal, which is 6th overall in the league. They're averaging that 3.41 and 32.3 shots on goal, where the Chicago Blackhawks, they have actually, if you were to guess who had the best face-off in the league, I doubt anyone would think it would be the Chicago Blackhawks. It is the Chicago Blackhawks here, averaging that 3.43 goals per game and 26.8 shots on goal. So they're not getting the shots, but the shots that they get are really counting. Now, Samsonov expected here for the Toronto Maple Leafs. It's going to be an interesting battle. Now, I think Ryan O'Reilly comes out and has a big day. I love what we saw out of him last night in that game versus Montreal. He's getting these shots on goal. He's yet to get a goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's take him today for that anytime goal. I think he digs so deep against the Chicago Blackhawks that are allowing so many goals. I think Ryan O'Reilly is going to get a goal there. Now, I want to take the Blackhawks because they do play really strong versus Toronto, especially in Toronto. The Leafs are only 3-8 in their last 11 meetings in Toronto. They failed to cover the puck line in their last 4 in Chicago. But can I do it here? No. We see the Chicago Blackhawks home off a 4-game road trip here. This is an automatic fade for me. They went 1-3 on this road trip. They absolutely struggled. I just don't see it happening here. They won their last game in OT versus the Senators 4-3. We've seen Toronto win their last 2 games. Blackhawks on Wednesday, like I said, they played this matchup already. I think Toronto comes in here. I don't think they blow Chicago out of the water, but I'm not risking any more money on Chicago. Give me Ryan O'Reilly. Anytime goal. I think it is money today. Give me his shots on goal as well. And then look at that first period over 1.5. Now, again, a little bit of juice here at a lot of juice at minus 150. Parlay that was someone or something in this game. Yeah, the last time these teams played, Toronto came out in the first period, got 3 goals. Chicago got 1. And Chicago won't give up in this game, so it's going to be an interesting one. I think the over is the way to go. The over 6-1 in the last 7 meetings. So give me the over 6.5. Give me Ryan O'Reilly for that anytime goal. And that first period over 1.5. 2 more games to go over, you guys, and then we'll quickly wrap this up with a parlay. You're thinking the over. I love it. Samsonov is playing. Maybe look at Toronto's team total. That might be another way to take this game. Blackhawks plus 1.5 at plus 100. Yes, but it's the Hawks. Who is tired of wasting money with the Hawks? I am. I am so done with wasting money with the Hawks. I said that about Calgary last night, though. Taking the Rangers team total over, that kicked me in the butt as Calgary actually decided to come out and play. They finally won against a solid team there. But remember, the Rangers were on that back-to-back after playing Edmonton, and they were very tired. 2 assists from Connor McDavid versus the Ranger. I am so glad I had that stat right in my head. I watch all of these games and I remember the oddest things, and sometimes I get them completely confused. Avalanche minus 1.5. You know, if you take the Avs minus 1.5, good for you. I would love to see the Avs have that nice big win. Joe is done with Chicago too. I know. Oh, you are too sweet. I'm so glad, JP, that you are here listening to what I have to say about these games. I got burnt. Who didn't get burnt on the Rangers last night? If you had faith in my Calgary Flames, you're nuts to say one thing, but Calgary they got it done. And I was not watching that game. I watched the other games. I'm not going to lie. I'm a Calgary Flames fan through and through, but they have been killing me. Yeah, hit that like button, you guys. It is so great. I'm so glad that you guys are here with me each and every day. Every single one of those likes really does help me out over here on YouTube so more people can find the show. Now let's look at the 7 o'clock Eastern matchup between the Winnipeg Jets and the New Jersey Devils. Devils coming in as a slight favorite. Devils got the win last night. That line looked crazy to me with the Devils here. It was over the Penguins. It was a 5-2 win. The first game home off of a 4-game road trip here for the New Jersey Devils. They went 2-2 on this road trip. They have the Montreal Canadiens on deck on Tuesday. Now they're sitting second in the Metro, 7-2-1 in their last 10 games. The line yesterday was odd. I didn't know why they weren't a bigger favorite. It scared me. It honestly did. I stayed off the Devils because of it, because I just couldn't get behind the Penguins in that situation. But the line freaked me out. Now they're coming in only at minus 125 over the Winnipeg Jets here. Winnipeg coming in at plus 104. I love Winnipeg in this situation. Connor Hellebuck expected to start here. The Devils expected to start Mackenzie Blackwood. Mackenzie Blackwood, I don't know. I don't have much faith in him. He's got a 3.12 goals against average. The Devils are home off of a road trip. Now looking at them on a road trip of 7 days or more, they've only won 1 of their last 5 in this situation. I don't trust them. Yes, they are phenomenally strong at home, winning their last 5 home games. And yes, they are strong playing on no rest, which they're coming in on. But off that road trip, they are not strong. And these trends really do hold true. I'm going to take the Winnipeg Jets. I cannot believe we're getting them here at plus 104. It was mind-baffling for me how the Jets are plus money in this situation. Now, they are off a loss to the Columbus Blue Jackets, and I know a lot of people will have the recency effect saying, well, they can't beat the Columbus Blue Jackets. What hope in hell do they have versus the New Jersey Devils? This is also their first game of a back-to-back. They've got the New York Rangers on deck tomorrow, but I think this game here, this is the Jets sitting second in the Central. They're 5-5 in their last 10. They need this win. They're also coming in off a couple days rest, and Winnipeg Jets have owned this matchup. This one looks too easy. I hope I'm not falling for a trap, but it's the Winnipeg Jets or nothing for me with that plus money. The Jets have won their last 6 games in New Jersey as well. They covered the puck line in their last 7 against the Devils. They're also strong off that couple days rest, going 5-1 in the last 6 games on 2 days rest. And the road team has owned this matchup, going 4-1 in the last 5 meetings. It's the Jets all day. One of my favorite bets of the day. I am glad you guys are with me on the Jets for the upset. Blackwood does suck. I'm on the Winnipeg Jets on the money line too. This is great, you guys. I am so glad we're here. The Rangers hurt everyone. The therapy sessions I think we need from some of these teams by the end of the season, man, I tell you, they should be helping pay for some therapy. That is for sure. What do you guys think here, actually? now that we're talking about this game, and I do some of my best thinking when I'm talking this out loud with you guys. So I've already taken the Jets on the money line. Anyone opposed the Jets on the puck line, laying 1.5, the reverse puck line, don't take them plus 1.5, reverse, laying 1.5 on that reverse puck line. They've gone 17-10 on the puck line. You're going to get incredible plus money. I think it's worth a sprinkle. I think the Jets could play a huge upset in this game with Mackenzie Blackwood in goal. So actually, you guys, now that I think about it, I'm going to put this in after. My clients are going to get the Jets minus 1.5 on the reverse puck line. And I'll tell you what value it is when I can find it here, because I think it's definitely worth a sprinkle here. Yeah, I think we've got a good one here. Degenerate. Degenerate's a nice word. We're going to use degenerate as a positive word. You guys going to roll with it. You'll take the 1.5 and walk away. Or the plus 105. I like the plus 105 too. But if you got like a couple extra bucks in your betting account, I might just hit that. The Devil's over 5.5 in that one. Oh man, you guys, I'm getting excited for these games to kick off today. You guys, make sure you join me over on Sports Grid too. I will be live from 4 to 8 o'clock Eastern with Harris and Stanford. We go over all these games, college basketball and everything. Live betting these games. So it's a lot of fun. So the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Arizona Coyotes, 8:30 Eastern. Just want to see if there's any updates in this one with lines. So Arizona minus 120, plus 100 here for Columbus. Now, the problem with Columbus today, we all know it. Let me see if Elvis is going to be in the building. Got to check this goaltending matchup and see if goalies have been announced for Columbus. No. Elvis expected. Connor Ingram expected here, or confirmed here, for the Arizona Coyotes. Now, he has a save goals, shots on goal at 28.5, juice to that over at minus 160, minus 110 to the under. So when we look at the Columbus Blue Jackets, if Elvis is in goal, very, very hard for me to back this team. This team is also on a back-to-back. Now, Elvis has a 4.28 goals against average. And yes, we've seen Elvis absolutely stand on his head in some games last season. We have not seen that out of him so far this season. And correct me if I'm wrong, if you can think back in a game where Elvis played absolutely outstanding for you. I can't this season. Now, Columbus has won their last 2. They got the upset win versus the Stars 4-1. I am not looking at that and thinking here that they can get another win. Connor Ingram has played some incredible games. Now, he has a 3.28 goals against average. They are at home in the Mullet Arena. This Mullet Arena has been good to them. Now, when I think about their last 5 home games, I'm pretty sure they won 4 of their last 5 home games. Again, correct me if I'm ever wrong about any of these stats, but 4 of their last 5, they have won at home. To my recollection, if I can say that word. Columbus on that back-to-back just do not play well. They're 8-22 in their last 30 games, playing on 0 days rest. Now, there has been strong trends to the road team when these two teams meet up, but I am not buying it in this one. And yes, the Coyotes are not world beaters. They are not strong on the back-to-back either, but they will be on home ice for this one. So for myself, it's the Arizona Coyotes or no one, because at this point, I believe Elvis is going to be in goal. Elvis or Ingram, I'm going to roll with Ingram and the home team on their home ice in this one. So looking at this total though, even though Ingram has played some really solid games, this could be one where Arizona Coyotes team that only averages 2.62 really opens up on Elvis. They go over their total. Both defenses aren't playing a lot of defense. They're both allowing 1 million shots to come in, with Columbus allowing around 34 shots and the Arizona Coyotes allowing 35-ish. They're not getting a lot of shots, but I do expect this one to be an offensive production out of both. I would lean to that over 6.5. I'd lean on the first period over as well. I wouldn't trust both teams to score. I just don't trust Columbus enough, even though we've seen some success out of this team. The over is hit in their last 4 meetings. Yeah, Ingram absolutely stopped that bleeding last night. He looked super sharp. I think we can see it out of him. So when we look at this, it's I know. It takes me a while. It takes me a couple minutes some of these days. But when we look at this total for Ingram for his save shots on goal at 28.5 at -160, it's hard to bet here because when we look at the Columbus Blue Jackets, they're only averaging 29.2, but we do see the Coyotes giving up 35.2. So we're going to see some more shots on goal out of Columbus. So Ingram at 28.5. I would really like to see this number a point lower at 27.5. Feel more confident on him saying over the 27.5, but at 28.5, I don't hate it. I still do think we can see a couple more goals than normal come out of the Columbus Blue Jackets and Ingram go over his save shots on goal of 28.5. So best of luck if you're going to tail that. I think my favorite player prop of the day definitely is Ryan O'Reilly, now of the Toronto Maple Leafs, for the shots on goal tonight, the anytime goal tonight. I do think that comes into play. Like we talked about, someone threw out Connor McDavid of the Edmonton Oilers for the anytime goal. He is due. He got 2 assists in the last game. Didn't find the back of the net. We know he's a superstar in his own right and loves, and in his own head as well. Sorry, Connor McDavid, but he loves to get these goals himself. So I think we do see him open up, get a goal in this one. It's going to be really interesting. Benji, in some cases, I have seen in some games for that alternate goal saved on FanDuel. It just depends. Let me see if I can see. I've got FanDuel open right now if they're giving us any. And it's really interesting because they give it to us on some games and not others. Today, they're only giving us Connor Ingram, the number of 28, and then the shutout. That's all they're giving us. But they do fluctuate between the two. Mike, cheers. Let's make some freaking money. The Coyotes money line. Good luck. I wish you the best. You guys, defense makes the offense look good. Yeah. What a huge statement that is. So very true. So, you guys, let's go over all of these games. We're going to just quickly recap. I'm going to fly through the recap for you. I'm going to then give you my how many leg parlay. We'll do the long shot parlay here. And good luck to everyone too, Kev. Very, very nice of you to say to everyone. So we're going to do that. And then from here, I'm going to go buy a Starbucks. And then you can find me on Sports Grid. I need my Starbucks today, you guys. Okay. Nashville Predator, Minnesota Wild here. Value-wise, the only way I can touch the Wild today is if I take them laying 1.5 on that puck line at plus 130. I do think this is an opportunity for them to get a big win over the Preds on that back-to-back. I just can't trust the Predators on a back-to-back on the road in this situation. I think this game is hard to that over. We got a total of 6. I would lean on the under in this one. I think it's a lower scoring battle. I would look at that first period actually to not see those goals come in. I love someone's bet there. I can't remember. Apologies for that no goal in the first 10 minutes, something I need to bet more. Now, looking at the St. Louis Blues and the Ottawa Senators here, the Blues on the back-to-back in this matchup. I think for parlay reasons, looking at the Blues plus 1.5 on the puck line, and that's what I'm going to throw into this parlay at plus 1.5. And I'm not going to put all these games into the parlay today, you guys. I think it's a good parlay piece here. I think this is one of those games where they trend to the under, but I really can't take the under in this one. I'd look at that first period over 1.5 for both teams to score in that first period because I do think there is value there in the first period. The Edmonton Oilers and the Colorado Avalanche. The Avs on the back-to-back are nice and strong, so I'm not worried about it at all. I have worries about Edmonton's defense, not even their goaltending. I think the goaltending gets a brunt of the strife here. I think it's really the defense of Edmonton that is letting them down. Plus, their offensive units need to get back and play some defense in some of these situations. I want to see Connor McDavid fighting for that puck in his end. So let's hope here Colorado is able to get a nice big win. I know someone threw out Colorado on that puck line. I think it's absolutely worth a sprinkle. I don't hate it at all. They've gone 11-15 on that puck line at home. They're due for a nice puck line. Cale Makar back in the lineup here. So give me, and on that puck line, it's plus 190. That is the number. So give me the Avs on the money line for the parlay. I do think you look at the first period, over 1.5 in this, too highly juiced. So parlay that with another first period over. But if you like both teams to score, I think we do see those goals coming in that first period by both of these teams. That's plus 134. One of my favorite bets of the day, the Avs and the Oilers, over 1.5, or both teams to score that first period. And the next game on the board, you guys, the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Chicago Blackhawks. I want to back the Blackhawks so much here. I don't want to lose any more money with them. If they win this one tonight, great. I would rather not put the money on them. I will be mad, yes, that I didn't bet it, but I'm not wasting another dime on the Blackhawks tonight. The Leafs have struggled in Chicago, though, something to really note. They're on that back-to-back, but they are strong on the back-to-back. They just beat Chicago 5-2 on February 15th, so that was last Wednesday. I do think better to prop bet this one. Look at Ryan O'Reilly for that anytime goal. Look at Ryan O'Reilly for his shots on goal to go over tonight. I also like that first period over 1.5. That's what I'm going to put into the parlay. The Leafs and Blackhawks over 1.5 first period. I think what we're going to see is a very similar start as what we saw in the last game. In the last game, we saw Toronto get 3 goals in the first period and Chicago get 1. So this game over 6.5, I think, is in play as well as we see another high scoring game here. The last 2 games on the board, the Winnipeg Jets and the New Jersey Devils. Give me the Jets all day long on the money line for the parlay. If you want to play it safe, you can take them plus 1.5. I'm not worried about that at all. I think the Jets come out and play absolutely phenomenal. You guys know I am crazy and I love my plus money. So I'm going to take the Jets on the reverse puck line for a sprinkle at minus 1.5 with beautiful plus money here. I think they have every opportunity to win this one on the road and win it nice and big. Like I said, 17-10 on the road on that puck line. Yes, they've been favorites in a lot of the situations. Coming into this one as the dog, we're asking them cover the reverse puck line, but it screams value to me in this one. I think the Devils are in a terrible scheduling spot off that road trip, also with Mackenzie Blackwood. Now make sure Mackenzie Blackwood is confirmed in goal before you put in this bet, because if the Devils all of a sudden change it, you don't want to be riding the Jets on that puck line. The last game on the board, the Columbus Blue Jackets versus the Arizona Coyotes. I got to take the Coyotes here, you guys, on the money line for the parlay, and look at the over in this game. I think we got another high scoring game. Columbus absolutely struggles on that back-to-back. We have seen strong advantages for the Blue Jackets in Arizona. Actually, so instead of that, we have to weigh that in. I'm going to take Columbus Blue Jackets and the Coyotes over 6.5 for this game. I do see the goals coming in either way. So it's going to be a great day, you guys. This long shot parlay is just for fun. Keep parlays to 3 or 4 games. It's always good to keep your parlays lower. Absolutely. But we're just doing a long shot for most of these games. I left the Minnesota Wild game out of this. Neil hitting 3 parlays. The Winnipeg Jets plus 1.5. The money line. Minus 1.5 for Colorado, plus 1.5 on the money line, minus 1.5 for Nashville, plus 1.5, and Ottawa over. I like where you are going with that. We got that parlay done. Recap that parlay, Joe. And for everyone out there, the St. Louis Blues on the puck line, plus 1.5 for the parlay. The Avs on the money line, the Leafs and the Blackhawks. First period over 1.5. The Jets on the money line, the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Arizona Coyotes over 6.5. Now, my favorite bets of the day. The Jets on the money line. We don't have to go crazy and put them on the reverse puck line. I'm going to sprinkle. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to sprinkle on that. I also love the Oilers and the Avs, that first, or both teams to score in that first period. I think that's a great way to go. I love Colorado for the win in that game. And I do think the Minnesota Wild get the win today. I don't love the price in regulation. And because of that, I'm going to sprinkle on the puck line for them at -1.5 at +130. But I think the Winnipeg Jets are the play of the day, you guys. So I want to wish you all the best in all of your bets. I hope you guys make some good freaking money today. I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. If you could hit that like button, if you can hit that subscribe button, I would really appreciate it over here on YouTube. You guys have a great day today. Benji winning some good freaking money. I love it, you guys. Let's hear about everything that you're winning below, what you're betting below this video, so everyone can tail you on these. And smash that like button. You guys have a great Sunday. Join me over on Sports Grid. It's smarter to be on the grid between 4 and 8 Eastern tonight. I will be there for the full 4 hours. NASCAR, Daytona 500. Joey Logano. I love Joey Logano. I think Kyle Busch has a good chance. It's going to be a lot of fun, you guys. Have a good one. Keep smiling. Let's make some freaking